he got on the pod and started whispering something. I'm like, man, what'd you say? He's like, man, my son work ethic is all bad. I'm like, hold the phone. We got to press record. Because whatever story he has, I got a story to top that. Who wants to share their story first about their kids potentially having really bad work ethic?
Not me. I think Kim's good. He's only 8 though, so I can't. I don't see it. But
okay, Matt had great work ethic at 8 too.
Yeah.
Right. Times that by 2. Wait
Yeah.
till he gets to 16, and then we'll
Yeah.
have this conversation. E, you want to share yours first, or should I give my wonderful kid his story first?
Man, mine is just quite boring, to be honest with you. You know, we're just having a conversation. I guess he has a quiz or something tomorrow. He didn't want to be quizzed, right? And he just failed another exam the other day. And so I had
your
this
oldest, right?
Yeah, the oldest. He just turned 12. Okay. I'm trying to let him understand he's in middle school now, right before high school. Now, you know, your education, your grades, how you do it matters. You're not a kid anymore. You need to start getting serious. You need to understand, have a work ethic, and actually care about how well you do. So I had to kind of go and get on my high horse for about 15 minutes. Jumping on the pod about 10 minutes late.
This sixth grade. This sixth grade, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of changes, man, to adjust. You ain't in the same classroom.
Well, I will say, 6th grade versus 5th grade, they quizzing this man like at least like 3 times a week, right? It's multiple things that's happening. However, you know, the world we live in, we gotta make sure these kids get educated, right?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to be educated. They just need to get good grades. ChatGPT tell you everything you need to know. Google tell you everything you need to know. That's a whole nother conversation about what probably needs to be taught in school systems. But Matt's past that. Matt graduates in May. And Matt, remember, he's a chicken cooker who ain't cooking chicken, right? He's still rocking it out. So we had a conversation with him just surrounding, well, I talk to him every single week, probably once a week. I talk to him about, hey, man, this is your perfect opportunity to figure out what you want to do and just start going toward that way. If you change your mind, I don't care. But you need to start doing something, because he thinks he works, 2 or 3 days a week. And then we just stay up to 4 a.m. every night on the phone, eating, doing whatever he's doing, right? While him and me and his mama, sleeping hard, you know what I'm saying? Doing that whole thing. So I get a text from him last Wednesday. Text says, going to work at 5 o'clock today. I pull up the schedule. Matt wasn't on the schedule on this said Wednesday. I'm like, hell yeah. All right, he's getting it. You know what I'm saying? I heart the message. I'm sitting there proud. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Get a text message about an hour later. Oh, I forgot. My finger's cooked. I can't go to work. Now, to back up, he worked Monday and he cut his finger.
Okay.
At work. It was a nice cut. It wasn't nice enough, though, for him to have a Band-Aid on it. It wasn't nice enough for him to put peroxide on it. When I said, hey, make sure you put some peroxide on it, because kids think they know everything, right? No, I got something for him. He showed me some Neosporin. All right, God bless. You put on whatever you think you should put on. But he's still walking around here without any type of coverage on it. So I read the text message, and I was like, okay, maybe he's joking, but just in case, let me go ahead and respond to him. So I'll respond and say, your legs work. Your arms work. Put some gloves on and keep it moving. Right? Like, that's what I would think we would do right here on this podcast. I would think the majority of people who are listening and watching this podcast would say, yeah, man, you better just stitch it the fuck up. Put a glove on, keep it rocking. I get a response back. And I knew he had a response because he didn't like it. That was his first opportunity to like the text message. So then he sends me another message back, and he goes, oh, so you must don't know how bad my finger hurts then. See, so now I'm heated. Like, because I'm basically, I can't physically force you to go to work, but I'm trying to tell you, man, you need to go to work. So I respond and say, I am just trying to get you prepared for life when you feel like death and you have to go to work. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to get up and go to work. He likes the message. Proud dad moment, right? All right, it only took 2 messages. Proud dad moment. So I'm looking at my watch. It's about 4:40. Ring camera ain't going off. Matt ain't left the house yet. All right, typically he only work about 7 minutes from the house. Uber typically comes if I can't take him or Rhodesia can't take him. Like Uber get there about 12 minutes before. Cool, no problem. 4:45, nothing. 4:50, nothing. 4:55, nothing. I sent Rhodesia a text. I said, he really didn't go to work. I get home, and now we got a headache. What's up, Dad? Come in. What's up, Dad? I was like, ain't nothing up, man. He go back in his room, lay down.
That's probably a migraine.
We gave him the business the night after that.
Yeah.
So we sat down, and it was a real heart-to-heart, lie in the sand conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you gotta practice the way you play. And I told him, he is so talented in whatever he tries to do, right? Years ahead where he probably should be in terms of mentality, in terms of smarts. But he's a quitter too. Soon as something ain't perfect, he out. He out of it. You know what I'm saying? And he's done that. And we've allowed him to do that. Because I'm like, well, I don't want to force anybody to do anything. First time he tried out for, sports team. Didn't make it. This was 5th grade. Never tried out again. Both of y'all seen Matt. That boy could play basketball and football. Right? What are you doing, dude? He could be, if he would put the work in and time in, he could be in college playing one of those sports. Oh, I don't feel like getting up when I have to get up. I just like playing when I want to play. All right. I should have known something then. You know what I'm saying? Look, y'all my therapist right now. I'm going down memory lane. I'm thinking, all right, let's get this show. Let's get this show going, man. As you can see, it's the guys, baby. Probably the 3 OG freaks from That's Freakin Wrestling. Just overall, Rhodesia here with us in spirit. She out doing something, getting things taken care of. But you got us. You are stuck with these 3 guys right here, a different 3 the hard way that we're not even going to touch. I'm sure he got some ridiculous joke cooking over there. You know what I'm saying? He always like to pop himself every week with something that is really, 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 really
worthy for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Suspect. It's there for him. But that's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is That's Freakin Wrestling, TFW podcast. Best kept secret in wrestling podcast. You guys, if you're not watching, I am sure you recognize his voice by now. Darth Vader is back. We asked Brandon about an hour and a half ago. And he said, even his wife asked him, you know how bad it is? Did she even listen to the pod, Brandon?
She heard that and was like, ooh. She
Boy,
was like, ooh.
Last time you was on, we were talking about, it was right after a big show. Oh, Saturday Night's Main Event. You were at Saturday Night's Main Event. And we ain't had you on since. Boy, hot mic.
I was in exile.
Boy, your mic is hot as Roman. Roman said, fuck them all last night on Raw.
He did.
And that's basically what you said to our listeners and viewers last time you was on. Fuck them all. Because you're going to come out here hot as, but hopefully we got that taken care of. My guy Brandon's on. Of course, y'all know Eshaun is on. What's up, brother? Outside of the son, you had to, talk to him for about 15 minutes, get him right. And now, next week you got to come on and tell us what grade he got to see if that 15-minute promo you cut on him worked.
Man, it's a work in progress, man. It's one of them things, right? Because we're all married men, so I try to come to my son with a different perspective, along with a different temperament, right? I try to be, calm, rational. Because my wife, our roles reversed. She turns into the hothead. Everything's the head and the hands, right? If you Brandon and Matt, they know my wife. My wife is usually calm. She's reserved. And no, not when she's talking to these kids, man. It's just a whole different. The hands, the head be going side to side. You know what I'm saying?
I can see it.
She turned to a whole different person. So I can't bring the same energy. So I usually have to kind of. No, I got to be the calm one. I got to be the relaxed one and the logical one. So I have to kind of give a different perspective. So We'll see how it goes, though. But as Matt said, this is the different text group, right? This is the text group. Because, see, Matt has a very liberal wife. Wait, he did real good for himself in life, man. Matt did a real good job. I say, look, he got her young, and he did a real good job with her. They have an awesome relationship. Matt can talk about women. She talks about women with them. It's great. But we got a secret text group that even she not on, right? Liberal Rhodesia, she not even on this one. So that's what we giving to you guys this week. We giving you guys the super secret text group. Should be
you said every time you get into that iPhone, you got to put in a double password to get to this text thread.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, because this is a text group I do not pull up when I'm around family members that can look at my screen, because I already know if I'm getting a text in this group. What's it called? What's it? It's a NSW, not safe.
Oh yeah, not safe word. NSW.
Yeah, I know that's what this is. So I make sure no one's around,
man,
and even if I'm at work,
man.
I step off the floor and I go in the corner where no one can be behind me and no one can get in my peripheral visions before I see what's in this group.
That is indeed true. Very fair.
I mean, at times for sure. I mean, it's probably what would you say, 80%, 85%.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not lewd.
No.
Yeah.
We save the lewd stuff between just Brandon and I. Won't he put you in that stuff, E? You too good of a guy. God bless, man. All right. Let's start with let's start. Oh my God, yeah. And he even put in capital letters. Do not open around people. I was like, oh, I had to go running. I was like, I gotta see this. It didn't disappoint. Didn't disappoint at all. Let's start with, I think what the main topic should be probably, and that's Big Rome back.
Yep.
Right. I could hit the Drewski sound and video. You know what I'm saying? But he's back. He was only gone for 4 weeks this time. E, lay off my guy, man.
4?
Lay off my guy. He is
doing
what he's got to do. Very quick. Very quick. So my assumption is he's done with the movie, because I think Cody was gone like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Cody's was even quicker.
Yeah. So, what I'm excited about, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on it. We had a big topic a couple weeks ago where I put my hands up and I said, Jey Uso, how far are we taking this thing? I said, are we really going to go and have some fun with it? Or is this going to be just a quick 3-week thing? Well, we're past the 3-week mark.
Yeah.
And it looks like they are going with it. It looks like we're about to have some fun with this here. I'm sure everybody saw it, but if you didn't see it in the Raw, the Usos are taking on the Bronze, and it is a tornado tag team match. Mm-hmm. So looks like Usos are about to lose because Bronson Reed is about to go and splash both of them. Roman's music hits, and holy hell, was that pop. I talk about it all the time, but man, dude, there's just levels to this. There is just levels to like everything in life. And you think somebody's at the highest or you're at the highest, and then you see something else, you're like, oh no, that's it. Like for wrestling, his pop when his music hits is probably that right now. And it's the same thing we talked about before. His music hits, it's huge, and then he steps out, it goes even louder. And it didn't even sound like he even dropped a little bit. But he comes out, takes care of business, picks Jey up, and ignores Jimmy completely. Mm-hmm. Jimmy's in the background, and Roman is going in. This is your shit. Fuck everybody. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you need to do. Now, if we remember, guys, Jey was getting dog walked every single week on Raw. Jimmy showed up to help him. And Jey sitting there in Jimmy's lap talking about saying, man, I need you, man. I can't do it without you. I need you. I can't do it without you. So here comes Jimmy, fresh off SmackDown. Mm-hmm. He ain't got to be on Raw. You know what I'm saying? He could be at home. At home, or at least beating up Solo on SmackDown. He come over to Raw. Now he losing every week. You know what I'm saying? Jey don't appreciate him. Roman completely ignored him. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy had a look on his face like, for real, this is what we doing? Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Where is this thing heading? Where do y'all want to see this thing heading? What we doing with it?
2 quick questions. Are they presenting this like it's the multiverse? Because we've sort of seen a dissension between, not sort of, we saw a dissension between Jey and Jimmy. How are they going to tell that? How is that going to unfold? And then secondly, like, if Roman's pushing Jey to be the guy, where does that? I mean, I know Roman will be Roman, but if he's not in that championship window and fighting for the championship, like, who else is he putting over when he's, getting done with the Vision or whoever might be next? I mean, obviously, eventually he's got to get to Seth. Who knows when that happens? But those are the two things that I need to know for sure. And I think we can start with what feels like a multiverse and doing this story over with Jimmy, but what that looks like and how that unfolds.
I thought about that. What I thought about was, it was a lot of thoughts because we kind of saw this coming. I mean, Jay's been doing this for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, then how is he going to react when Roman comes? So now we probably know he did call Roman that time. Roman, he was on the phone. He was like, call me back, man. Like, I was hoping it was somebody else. I was hoping maybe it wasn't Roman. So now we know it was Roman. So what I thought about, to your point, Brandon, I was like, all right, so if we've done this already, actually, we've done all this. We've done Roman beefing with both of them. We saw Roman beefing with Jey. We've seen Jimmy versus Jey. We've seen Jimmy also protect Jey from being Roman. Hell, we was all at that SummerSlam, right? Remember, that was his excuse for costing Jey the match against Roman, was, I don't want you turning into that.
Right.
So to your point about, damn, are we just doing this again? You could say that for sure. I think for me, I was excited because of where this is going to go. Now, if I really sat and thought about it, maybe I could figure it out. I don't want to. So I want to be surprised. What I do like, though, is it's an absolute different dynamic now. Because now I guess maybe the question would be, are we not going full-fledged Roman babyface?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are listening may say, well, Roman was never really a babyface. Roman's a babyface, right? He's a babyface. But if Jey has been acting hillish and Roman is gassing him up to be exactly what he's acting like, we can all see Jimmy is the babyface in this. He is the babyface in this. So my last thing I was really excited about, without even giving this a lot of thought, was I'm really excited for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because now, and he's had his time to kind of show and prove. We've seen, Big Jim. That's kind of where that came from. It didn't hit nearly as much as what Jay's single run was. We saw a little bit of it. We've seen him on the mic. But I think now, because Jey can't get any higher through this storyline. Yeah. He's not going to get any bigger. Yeah, okay, maybe you say he turns heel. He'll be different. He's not going to be bigger than what he is right now. Roman's not going to be bigger than what he is right now. But Jimmy's got a long runway for this storyline. And is it possible this storyline is setting up him to be, I ain't going to say head of the table, right? But what if this whole thing is for all right, now we're going to get Jimmy where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's from either talking Jey out of this. I mean, I hope it's not a feud. I don't want to see a match with any three of them.
Either.
Yeah. So
I thought maybe he gets bigger too, but I also worry that maybe they build all this momentum for him only to get taken out by whoever as a lead up to whatever paternity leave he's going to take when his baby come or whatever. And then I don't know that he loses steam, but I wonder if the story arc in this is for him to get taken out in some way, and then eventually he go off and chill with a pregnant wife or a newborn or however. But I mean, that's probably at least 5 or 6 months away before she gives birth. So I don't know. I'm just speculating, but
E, what you thinking?
I think it's all storyline. It's all storyline. I don't think that's going to lead to a match between the three of them. To be honest with you, because as you said, Roman Reigns is a baby. He's a big time baby. He's not a traditional baby. He's not Cody Rhodes baby, right? But the Cody Rhodes baby shouldn't work in 2025 anyway, right? That type of baby face. The Roman Reigns baby face is a prototypical baby face for today's audience. Right? He's actually perfect baby face for today's audience for what they're looking for and how they want to share a character. Jey Uso's another one, right? I think it's another layer of story for him and something they can do between the three of them. What Paul Heyman say in one of his interviews, he said, why would he ever leave Roman Reigns, right? Like, that's in front of the camera, behind the scenes, right? He's always going to be doing something with those guys. And I think this is just something that kind of continue to develop those characters into their next feud, right? Which is obviously going to be the vision, right? We're seeing a mini version of that right now, but Seth is kind of taken out of the equation. They're kind of separated in a way, right? We saw them come together for a moment right before the tag match. But Seth and Becky have been kind of doing their thing, while Heyman has been with the Bronze, and they've been kind of doing their thing. So I think when we get that no, that's not a triple A match. So I need Rodriguez to kind of clarify what the triple A is.
What a triple A actually is.
But I guess this is the 6-man match, right? I think it's going to be another big time 6-man match when we get the full vision, against the original Bloodline, right? With the Cuz and Roman doing the thing. And I think it's just going to be something to kind of continue that story train out until we get to those matches. Because absolutely, there's so much money into a Seth and Roman match. I mean, we've been talking about it for years. They've laid a little groundwork for a big time match, right? That we talked about a couple years ago at this point. Like Michael Cole was in the ring on the build to WrestleMania with Cody. Like, hey, Cody, don't trust Seth, because Seth is a threat to Roman. He's like, Roman has never beaten Seth in X amount of years, right? They planted that seed like we seen like 5 years ago, and we still haven't seen the fruit bear yet, right? So that has to be coming soon. That has to be the next big match. But if you think about it, what are they going to do until they get to that match, right? And this is what they're doing, right? They're developing some characters. They're putting another layer on Jey. They're going to bring up Jimmy a little bit more. Like, I don't know if Jimmy's personality and character is going to take off like a Roman and a Jey's, right? Can you think about Jimmy's character? Like, he's great and fun-loving on the microphone, right? He's electric on the microphone. He has like a way about him, right? But Jey in that entrance, like Jey's swag, right? Jimmy has a different version that I don't think it'll take him to the top like Jey's would. But I think it'll take him up another level, right? That's what everything's about. Just levels to everything. Get him up to another level, right? Continue to make him respectable. And then when we get that big 6-man match, and I don't know where we're going to get it, like, right? Because I guess Saudi is I'm not sure what we're doing for Saudi, but that's going to be another big match that they could probably main event. Another one in the POEs, they're going to do another 2 weeks.
And initially, I thought you would get it at after Perth at Saturday night's main event, but before you get to that, based on what I saw on SmackDown, you don't get Randy and Cody against Braun and Bronson probably at Saturday night's main event, right?
No, that's actually happening Friday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
On SmackDown. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, you're right. Then that's got to happen after
okay,
Perth,
so
probably Saturday night main event.
Don't forget, we got War Games coming up.
And I was going to also say, like, and then do you play it out? You get a fourth person for the Vision, and would the Samoans' fourth person be Jacob, or do they bring back Sammy somehow?
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Brock Lesnar, it seems like he's building a cartel over there. Like, right? He's building a cartel. He got the Vision. And then over on SmackDown, he's still representing us for his boy again, right?
Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman.
With his controversial comments.
Yeah.
Like, he can pull Brock into that world. Like, hey, let me bring my other client back into the equation, right? And now you got an even bigger War Games match.
Well, and if we do that, then how about we throw John Cena in his first War Games match ever? I'm sure it's his first War Games match. And he teams with the Bloodline. Yeah. And that gets you that connection back to Cena and Brock, and maybe he gets his comeuppance. I don't think you have Brock eat the pin, right? But there is a connection there for Cena to then have a War Games match last show ever, right? And then for him to do something with Roman. I've been kind of waiting on that. I didn't want another match with him, but he's kind of touched like every other main guy in WWE this year, somehow, some way. Him and Roman haven't even done anything.
Yeah, I feel like they have to, at the very least, get on a mic based on
something, right?
The history of their interactions.
It's got to be something, even if I wouldn't even care if it was like a backstage, but it needs to be something. But that would be a big deal. John Cena and Roman Reigns teaming up for the first time. I'm sure they teamed up back in the day when they both were, babyface. He was the big dog, but
Yeah.
they got a lot of different ways of going at it. I'm super.
That's a
excited
dream match if you think about it. Like that's like one of them like 2K matches, right?
Yeah.
You think about John Cena and the original Bloodline versus the Vision and Brock Lesnar. That don't seem like it's almost. That sounds like it's almost unreal. Like it couldn't happen. But
that's the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, but if you
now I wonder if they go that
absolutely
way.
Can. Yeah,
because now it makes sense, right? The Heyman of it all now makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Or these around here. You want to come say hi? Okay, then get out of here. Then. Oh, you know what? Why don't you bring me a bourbon? It looked like Brandon drinking a bourbon, so I want a bourbon.
I am indeed.
Yeah, I told you. He said he is indeed. Eurydice is jumping up and down. She just got home. And I said, do you want to come on? The first thing she did was grab her hair. Hair don't even look that bad. It was just coming. You can say hi to them.
she covered it.
Yeah, like, you see that? She is so ridiculous. But it's funny because now the whole thing would make sense with the Heyman part. Even down to last night, Cody made a comment to Seth about like, hey, you good with, like your boy being with Brock? And Seth just said, I may call the cause. All right, well.
Yeah, everything runs through me.
Yeah, let's see then, if that's the case. But that is a wild, who would have ever thought that would be a possibility? But even just us talking about it over the next couple of minutes, the last couple of minutes, I think that may be where they're going. It makes almost like too much sense.
Yeah.
It makes too much sense. Who do y'all want? I know, Brandon, I know, E, you don't care. Still try to answer the question. They announced today about John Cena's last match, Saturday Night's Main Event in December.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, who would you want his last match to be?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to say Batista, and I know it's not likely that he'll come back, but I know when they announced Saturday Night's Main Event being in DC, there was a lot of speculation about possibly Batista coming back. I guess DC is his hometown.
It is. Yep.
So that would be kind of dope. I personally have not ever seen a full match by Batista. I obviously missed his run. But his allure, I guess, still kind of is out there and is respectable, obviously, and people love that. I'm a big fan of his intro. I've seen his intro a bunch of times, but I think that would be dope. I've learned since people have been speculating that they have a pretty good history with each other in terms of matches. So I think that'll be dope, and that'll be a dope way to get Batista back in the fold because, from what I understand, he's not been around in forever, and they want to get him at some point in the Hall of Fame. I think that'll be a good way to kind of get reconnected to the company.
That would be fire.
Will it be though?
I think so. Who knows about the match quality? But to say you got Batista Cena one last time,
you're gonna get Batista right coming out of retirement to put another dude in retirement who hasn't wrestled in probably 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And the last couple of John Cena matches have been a little bit better, but from a match quality perspective, you got a dude who's been retired, wrestle another dude going into retirement. That match will be the Drizzly Boo Boos. Like, I don't know how long that match would need to be.
It'd be better than Gunther and Goldberg last Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah.
Retirement match.
Would it?
Hell yeah, it would. Don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Would it?
That match. Come on, E. All right. I see what type of time you on. It's fine. It's cool. He potted.
Because you
brought it up. I should have waited.
You don't have a good wrestler like Gunther, bringing up a bad wrestler. Like, not saying that John Cena and Batista are bad wrestlers. Look, them dude Batista's like damn near 60.
Is he really?
Right? Oh man, yeah, dude. When he was hot, he was like 47.
He was an older dude. Yeah,
he was like seriously, like for
real. He was almost like That's right. You were watching wrestling back in the Attitude Era. Like he's like DDP. DDP started late. He caught on like in his late 30s. I think he got into business in his late 30s, and by the time he was hot, he was in his early 40s,
43 or something like that. He was like 44, I think,
Batista
when he
was
first won his championship.
Yeah. Batista was like 35 or something like that when he first started popping off.
Batista's 56 years old right now. And stop always bringing up age, E. You know what I'm saying? What's the word when you like always talk about somebody's age? You got colorism. Okay, you ageism, dude.
See, I understand. Look, I didn't talk to you guys about this. So I'm at the point right now. I pee probably every 3 hours or so, right? So I wake up out of my sleep, and I got to go pee. So I wake up. I'm thinking it's like 2 o'clock, maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I go pee, right?
Okay.
I can't believe you let the public know.
Yeah, you gotta let them know. There's other men that's affected by this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm waiting to see what the problem is.
But yeah, so I get up.
I'm still listening. Okay,
handle my business, right? Boop, 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 boop. I go turn pop. Like the bone that connects to my hip popped out of place. Yeah. All I did was turn. They come out of the bathroom because my bath. I have like a in the bathroom you have like it's a separate room with a toilet,
water closet.
Yeah,
water closet.
right. So I go. I'm turning to come out out of that bad boy.
Okay.
Pop. I'm like, oh shit, right?
Okay.
Now I'm limping to the sink, like to wash my hands. I'm limping to get my ass back in the bed. I'm in pain, y'all. I'm in pain. I go back to sleep maybe like 15 minutes later. Finally, right? I wake up again 3 hours, 4 hours later, whatever it is. Limp back to the bathroom, hop back in there. I'm like, Jesus. I'm at the point to where I am breaking bone just peeing. You know what I'm talking about? So when y'all talk to me about age, we got this man who's 55 years old, who hasn't wrestled in 15 years, to come wrestle another dude who I'm damn near 50. That match is going to be horrible, y'all.
I appreciate the story.
So who do you want?
No, hell no. We got to peel the layer back on this. I appreciate the story. But all I can continue to think about is you are comparing yourself to Batista physically. Brother, have you ever played a sport? Have you ever wrestled? How are you comparing yourself going to take a piss compared to Batista, who's been out of wrestling for a few years and he took a bump? But how are you comparing yourself to him, man?
To quote the Honorable Triple H, Batista's built for show. Me, I'm built to go.
Cheers.
She's doing everything but being on camera.
Right.
And she's smiling herself off. Cheers. Hey, you missed it. He just told a story about how he broke his pelvis bone going to take a piss. And somehow that was connected to Batista coming back to take on John Cena in December at Saturday Night's Main Event. I can't wait. There you go. All right. So that was that. And then I'm going to throw it to you guys. After this here, I'm out. I was on board for about a month. It jumped the shark for me last night. It jumped the shark. Any idea what I'm talking about? I thought it was great stuff. Wasn't as good as the Bayley stuff. Bayley stuff has been like top tier on Raw, right? This was something I'm like, okay, I'm really enjoying. And now I'm done.
You over the split personality?
No, it's nothing about Bayley. I'm into the Bayley stuff. It's another storyline on Raw.
Oh, it's got to be the Kyrie.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out, brother. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm missing something because I don't understand. Does Rhea want Iyo like as her lover? Like, are we really about to go there with this storyline? I know we're not. But there's a disconnect to why Rhea is like best friends with Iyo and only wants the best for Iyo. I don't get that, but cool, right? Because that's been there. No problem. I just thought it was funny where I was out, guys.
When she was looking like She-Hulk all damn night.
She gets sprayed with the mist. She is still going back and forth on should she trust and be with Kyrie and Asuka while she is holding a photo. She should be blinded by the mist. They should be pouring water in her eyes. They should be trying to get it off of her. She is sitting there.
Damn showers by the end. She was
she is sitting there
for fucking backstage video
talking about, I don't know if I should trust them. And they zoom in to a picture of Kabuki Warriors and Iyo together. I was like, all right, you got it. I'm done. It was a fun ride. What we doing, man? Like,
yeah, I don't get it. Because even if they decide to go where she do go back, I don't know how to recover because they already got a match in Perth. But
tag team match.
It would have made sense if Rhea was like, I've never beat her. I'm going to fuck her over at some point in this match or something like that. But it ain't going that way. Like, Rhea got a legit affinity for Iyo now.
It's just TV soap opera. Like, right? It's just TV soap opera. They extending the story out, you know. I got a kick out of when, cause I already knew what happened when Kyrie gave her the photo. I already knew my mind that they're going to zoom in on the photo so we can see the photo, right? And I knew that it was going to be upside down so we can clearly see the photo, right? But while Iyo is holding it upside down, like, right? Why would she hold it that way? And now she's crying, like, right? I'm like, this is just TV drama, man. And I was getting kicked out of like, Kyrie, we can still be a family. Oh, like, no, you can't.
Yeah,
you don't
like
want my
why would
ass
we?
twice.
Why would we? She missed her. Like, I'm from the old school where you miss somebody like it's on sight.
It's a wrap,
right? Like when the great Muda just wouldn't just like miss you. Like, all right, like it's over. It's a wrap. So for her to miss her intentionally, and then we still talking about trying to make it work after that.
And Iyo felt so bad, and she wouldn't even shower, y'all. She had to keep all that on her body.
It was all down here. She was looking like She-Hulk. Like, yeah, they probably added some more minutes.
Well, I mean, but think about Rhea's, right? Rhea got it too. She looked like the prettiest She-Hulk, like in history of She-Hulk last week. But so I'm out. Thanks.
I'm with you.
I'm interested in the match.
Hey, but you know what I do appreciate though with Asuka in this miss though? She is misting these women, right? Because sometimes you know, like you would get they would miss. Like they kind of miss them a little bit, and they wouldn't get them. She is spraying these. Like I don't know what she's doing different, but she doing the thing with this version of the miss. And like it's a nice coat too. It's like a spray paint. It's a nice coat. She coating these women real nice, man. I just need them to take a shower afterwards, right? Because I won't want that all on my body afterwards. So after about 2 hours later into the show, you still drenched. Like, come on now, shit. Maybe she had no more clothes.
Still turned.
Nah, they got her ass.
Anything else y'all want to talk about from Raw before we talk about the botch heard around the world from SmackDown?
Lyra looked good on Raw.
She looked great. She looked great.
I've been talking to y'all about that woman for a long time now.
You
man.
have.
She's like Wayne said, we agree.
Yeah,
she looked great.
Yeah, I agree, but it clicked last night for sure.
It was a short. And we're not objectifying women, but we are just saying how beautiful they are. She looked great. I mean, she's got the total package. I remember I was a little worried about her just from a connectivity perspective when she first got up. But like, she connects more when she's not Bird Lady than when she is Bird Lady. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Yep. No, she looked good though. She looked good. I still really like what they're doing with the Bayley thing.
I like the Bayley thing as well.
Yep, I do. What else was big from Raw? Was there anything else that was like we have to touch on?
I don't think so.
I think that was kind of like
him and Kofi. That was a miss. I mean that was what it was. I didn't. Full disclosure, I've missed Raw and SmackDown like the last couple of weeks or so. I don't know how we got to AJ Styles tagging with Dragon Lee. I feel like that is beneath him right now, especially when he's getting ready to go into his last match.
So you just gave me three things real quick because I want to hit on three of those things. First, let's start with LA Knight. We haven't talked to you since Saturday Night's Main Event. We talked a couple weeks ago kind of about his positioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's too high to not have him big spots, but he's not big enough to put a championship on him where their storylines are, who's holding the titles, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
What's your quick thoughts about LA Knight? Like, are you really big into him? Are you into him more than you were this time 8-10 months ago? Is it less? Like, just what's your thoughts about him?
Still like him. I like his character, all his shticks or gimmicks. I'm still a fan of. I feel like he's in a holding pattern also, but I don't know when they like pull the trigger. Like, he's like clawing at that top card. Like, I don't know when they put a championship belt on him, but even if they don't, who he's feuding with the exception of what they did last night, kind of works for me. Like, he's in the big picture, and not necessarily in the title picture. I can live with him kind of being in that orbit of the top of the card.
Okay. What was the second thing you said? Third thing you brought up was AJ. What did you say after LA Knight? You said
I think I don't know how he got to tagging with Dragon Lee, and given that whatever he's about to do with Cena, this feels beneath him. I don't understand it. I know from what I can tell, something happened with El Grande Americano, but just still, in my opinion, weird positioning for him leading into whatever he's about to do with Cena.
whole thing is weird when it comes to this match with Cena. And when I say whole thing, like, it was no build on TV. It was an internet build, it's just, I don't know. But damn, it was something else you said. It was something else you said between that and
I can't remember.
And I wanted to hit it on. It'll come to me maybe.
Yeah.
You got anything from Raw before we get to SmackDown?
I do like El Grande though. I like that guy, man. I think Kaiser is a star. They got I feel like he's getting over a little better with the mask. Because I don't know how you guys feel about when Chad Gable comes back, does he don the mask again? They can easily slide him away from that. But I feel like Ludwig is
Dude,
El Grande
he
Americano.
I was about to say, Chad lost that mask. We can move on. Chad, you can show up and just say somebody took my gimmick.
Yeah.
Because putting him back under that hood, nah.
And I feel like for him, does he really want his career to be under a mask?
Yeah.
Right? So, but I feel like whatever they decide to do with him, they got to figure out with him, man. But he can go in the ring. He has a good look, right? Great physique. The sky's the limit for that guy. And he makes the most almost out of every role that he's in. Man, he's just a phenomenal talent.
Talking about Chad, right?
Oh, Chad. No, I'm talking about Ludwig.
Oh, Ludwig? Yeah. No, I mean, he's doing some good stuff right now.
I feel like Chad, in a lot of ways, they're maximizing him to a degree. Right? I don't know if he's world title contender, but they always find a prominent role for him on the show, showcase his personality. He's a smaller guy, but the way he wrestles, he doesn't look like a smaller guy based on the way he wrestles, right?
Yeah.
Talking about Chad Gable, but Kaiser specifically, man, he has the height. The dude, is a legit 6'4", whatever he is, right? Tall guy, muscular. The sky's the limit for that guy. But we talked about the Samoans earlier. Them MFTs, man. Talk about cook. I think that faction's cooked, bro. They just ain't got it to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Tama Tonga, he has it. But the rest of them dudes, his brother, Tonga
Lord, he has a position, right?
Yeah.
And it's not
which is
top
next
guy.
to his brother.
Correct. He's got his position. He's the henchman. He's the guy who's gonna take the bumps for the heel faction, right? Look good, but then get his ass kicked. We know who that guy is. Back in the day, it was D'Lo Brown. You know what I'm saying? For Nation of Domination. You eating that stunner, right? Every good faction has the guy that can get their ass kicked, has the work rate guy, has the look person, to your point, E. Tama can be all of that. But Tama was the danger guy before Jacob got there. So it still would work with Tama. But Solo's not a lead guy either, though. So that's also kind of the issue, right?
He's maximized his role, right? He's maximized his role.
Yeah.
I think he's reached to his potential he can do in that role. Yeah, right?
Peak.
But the rest of them guys like Jeff Cobb, man, Jeff Cobb is boring, y'all. He is boring.
Do you put that on him or how he's been booked or portrayed?
I put that
Probably
on
how he's being booked.
No,
I put it on how he's being booked. Because I think he could be good, but he could be that dog. He could be the silent killer. And you'd be like, okay.
He could be what Solo was when he wasn't speaking.
Yeah.
But so Matt, you've seen him wrestle much more than Brandon. He don't wrestle like a killer. He don't. He don't wrestle like a killer.
True, right. But neither did Solo. He had the persona, and then of course when the bell rings,
he
but kind of work your style.
But he should have had the persona first. They should have built him as the killer before he started doing matches and shit.
But the difference between a Solo and a JC Matayo is that Solo always has personality. Maybe not the lead character personality, but he has character, right? When he was just the silent assassin, he made that work, right? Now he's kind of the jokey boss, right? He's kind of like the level. He's like the first level boss character, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't the main boss. He's like the first. He's like that second level boss that you get before you get to the real boss, right? That's why, like, when we kind of fantasize that Rock was pulling the whole strings the whole time, he was the real guy behind this new version of Bloodline. Solo kind of worked because we didn't believe that Solo was the guy running the whole show. Like, right? Or maybe we just, again, we fantasize it to be more than what they had
it was
plan,
there,
right?
man. Like, it was there. Even remember when The Rock came back in Atlanta at Bad Blood, and Solo was in the crowd saying all part of the plan. That's when you're like, oh, yo, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is cooking. We had an opportunity. I was watching, so between Bad Bunny being, and shout out to Bad Bunny, I am so looking forward to next year's Super Bowl performance. Love it. I love that. I just love everything about that announcement. I love it's him. I love that it's hip hop. I love that it is his nationality, so he's really be able to put on for his culture. I love everything about that.
And I love that there's a certain segment of people that are pissed about it.
And that is the other part that I absolutely love. Jay-Z continues to do good stuff with the halftime shows, but between like thinking about, because of course as soon as they announced him, my mind goes right to, damn, this is a big deal. But then my mind goes to him in WWE. And me just thinking back to that entrance in Puerto Rico at Backlash 2 years ago. And my mind just kind of went to, my mind just went to, that was peak. Like, for us as fans who've been watching wrestling for a long, long time, everything is peaks, right? Attitude Era was a peak. NWO was a peak. NXT Black and Gold was a peak. AEW first 3 years was a peak. Those first 18 to 24 months with Triple H as the head creative, WWE is not going to top that.
Yeah,
man. And like even now, like you'll watch, and it's still enjoyable, right? Like the show is enjoyable. That was the other thing you said, Brandon. I knew I was going to come back to it. You said, full disclosure, you haven't really seen Raw or SmackDown in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Is that due to the quality of the show by any chance? And now I'm saying that because if this was WWE a year and a half, 2 years ago, would you have found time to catch up on Raw and SmackDown from the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's a combination of finding a time. I'm a bigger football fan than I am a wrestling fan. And with Monday Night
3-1 Lions, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
And I was able to watch Raw over football last night because those are two bad matchups in my opinion, and the results in play showed that. So I dove into Raw, but previous weeks been quality matchups, and trying to watch those games and then run through Raw and get up at 5:30, 6 a.m. the next day, it's just tough. And then Tuesday comes, I get home, I kick it with Cam, kick it with the wife. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it tomorrow. Wednesday, Marissa and I watch something that we usually watch on a Wednesday. I spend time with her. 11, 12 o'clock. I was like, all right, I'll try to get it.
Hey, wait, no. We're not doing that, brother. You are not speeding past that stop sign. You are not going through that red light. You cannot just say, yeah, me and Marissa watch TV together on Wednesday and not give it up on what type of shit you be watching on Wednesdays from
on
8 to 11 p.m.
Currently,
what you watching?
Historically, whenever the challenge comes on, MTV The Challenge, we watch that. So that's the show that we watch.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna be on some.
Nah, nothing great.
Like you don't even want to say what it is. You probably lying anyway. That's probably you probably lying.
Or I'm lying anyway.
You watching some damn. That's like Wednesday's like rom-com night for y'all.
Nah, we don't watch any trash TV together. She watches some stuff, but yeah. So we'll watch that, and then Amazing Race just came back, and that comes on I think Thursdays. So then Friday comes, like, all right, I gotta watch SmackDown and Raw. And I try to get to one. And then it's like, all right. Then Saturday come, it's college football all day.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is NFL, and then I'm back in the cycle. So
I had an email or a text message. This was a couple weeks ago. And both of y'all know Rich. Shout out to Rich. He's got his own TikTok. Let me shout him out because he's doing some good stuff over there. The Comic Plug.
Okay.
So check him out. But he sent me a text a couple weeks ago about wrestling. and it kind of ties into this a little bit too. Now, he's back into it. Like, he catches every PLE. I don't think he watches weekly, but he is always online, so he knows what's going on.
Yep.
And he sent me a text, and he said, it was basically about, like, why are we getting the same thing every single week on Raw? And it was like, it seems like we see the same 13 people on the show, and it's the same feuds. And he was kind of right. I can't find it, but I thought
the same thing when we got the tornado match last night. I was like, we just had this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of division. It was the same thing what they did when Judgment Day was the lead heel faction. Remember, it was like Judgment Day. Who were they working at the time?
Everybody, it seemed like.
Yeah, but it was like always like Judgment Day. But yeah, so that's just interesting. You know, that's why I asked you that. Same thing. I mean, I'm a massive football fan. I got a wrestling podcast, so I'm sure I'm a bigger wrestling fan. It's pretty close though. But I think I didn't watch last night. I haven't watched Raw live. I just can't catch it live. Just from a time perspective. But last night was the first show since Monday Night Football that I watched in totality on Monday. Right, like it wasn't half and half, or I saw the majority, but let me fast forward through so I can get to it. Was, but to your point, man, it's sports, right? Which is a great thing. But I think
what I did last year is at halftime of the Monday night game, I'll start.
You
Raw.
did,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing about wrestling, right? Well, the thing about just any show in particular nowadays. You ain't gotta watch it live, right? You can DVR it. You watch it the next day.
Yeah.
You can watch make it Tuesday Night Raw. That's the thing about why live sports has such a premium, right? That's why AEW was able to kind of leverage and get that deal that they got, is because they called themselves live sports, right? Which is almost like appointment television. Like that audience is going to tune in at that time because they want to see it live. Now we know that wrestling isn't like one of those shows, especially when you got real life stakes like football, right? Who's only on for X amount of months throughout the year, right? And then it goes away, right? And then you want to see it again. Like, so that's the only thing about wrestling is that it's on every single week, no off time, right? So you never really mentally get a break. So when there's other things that are on that have limited run, it's easy to kind of put it to the side. It's like, oh, you know what? I can always go back to wrestling.
Yeah.
I can always watch next week's show. Right? I'm gonna get caught up on the video package. I'm gonna get caught up on social media, whatever the case may be. Right? Because there's always different ways to watch it. But that basketball game, that football game, that college game, like you gotta see that when it's on. Like, it's nothing like seeing a football, basketball, a college game, like watching it live. Like, that's not something you can experience the next day or later on in the day. Like, right? And that's what wrestling doesn't have.
Well, it kind of does if you look at it from a social media perspective. Like, say if I want to be on social media live, you got to watch it because you're going to get spoiled.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that social media component, then absolutely, you can watch it whenever. But if you are at least trying to interact and engage, get your thoughts off, talk to other people, you can't do that. I mean, like if you're a massive account, because then you just ask a question and you'll get a flood of answers. But typically, the live tweeting is where you really can see in real time other people's reactions, right? You see their jokes. You can give your thoughts about it. So I think, but if you're not connected to social media, which everybody is to some extent, even if you just go on
the majority of the fan, right? Not the super hardcore fan, the ex people. That's a small, like, that's a vocal minority. Like, right? I'm not talking about those type of hardcore fans that are into wrestling like that to where they got to watch it and they want to live tweet. I'm talking about the average fan that watches it. Like the people like some of the people we know who watch the show. They stay on top of the show, but they don't watch it every single week and not in tune to it like we are.
Yeah.
That's the majority of their audience.
And I think for both wrestling and sports, you watch in anticipation of the big moment. And like, even when I'm watching a sport, like prime example, when I'm watching the Lions live, if I don't remember to mute some of my tweets, like, for example, I follow Pride of Detroit, sometimes their feed or they're at the game.
It's quicker.
They might tweet out a big play
If you haven't seen, you like a second
disappointing. It's just not discouraging, but it's disappointing. Like you don't get that same excitement.
You got robbed. You got robbed
exactly.
of the excitement of what? Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah, I mean, and the way I watch, I'd be like a minute and a half behind.
Yeah,
I'll be in the second quarter. Brandon be like, "Man, we midway through the third." I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta get these streams faster." All right, y'all. It's 55 minutes in. Gotta talk about it.
Gotta
talk about it. Same way when somebody gets hurt, I always say it's not ballet. In the same way when we see fuck ups like this, hey, it's not a shoot, pal. It's not a shoot.
Yeah.
But holy hell, I haven't cringed that bad for somebody and someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe ever. That may have been one of the most uncomfortable moments for me in a long time watching something.
Yeah. It got weird quick.
Oh,
it got.
Y'all
weird
don't know
quick.
by chance what we're talking about. Friday Night SmackDown, women main evented, which they absolutely deserved. Really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Before the end of the match, it was Jade, of course, triple threat. Jade, Nia, and what did Matt call her?
Tiffany.
Sabrina Carpenter. Tiffany Stratton. And had a botch. Right? Allegedly, it was a kick out, according to the ref. Nia ain't moving muscle. Neither did Tiffany Stratton. That is right after Jay took one of the craziest shots with a steel step that I had ever seen. As soon as she hit the steps, I told Rhodesia, I was like, that wasn't good. And she came up leaking. But I mean, hey, I'm sure she probably took that as like some type of pride too. But guys, I mean, shit happens, right? Nothing's perfect. So I'm not here to dogpile on them.
What's your biggest surprise in that and how that unfolded?
My biggest surprise is that just proved how great wrestling is 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And how everything has to go right to be presented the way we need and want to see it. All that was they went home early because Jade got hurt, and everybody should have heard what the call is.
Yeah.
It's just like we used to talk about football. Week 1 against Green Bay, Detroit, we looked like trash. Why? Because communication was horrendous. You got people running free to the quarterback because we're not calling out protection properly. Oh, I thought you called this. I thought you called that. We got receivers running on top of each other because they're running the wrong routes. Looks like shit. But when it is a well-oiled machine, the way it's been for the last 2.5 weeks, it is a beautiful thing to see. Same thing with wrestling. Take a botched move. Take a botched pinfall. It completely ruins the moment. So that was like, for me, it was like, yo, wrestling really is that thing where when there's something that is amiss, sometimes you can't tell. But a lot of times when it's something that big, oh my God, and it kills it. We're never going to remember anything from that match outside of Jay getting thrown into the steel steps, which wasn't planned in terms of her getting busted open, and the botch finish.
Yeah. In both of you guys' opinion, who are more veteran fans than I am and watch with a different eye, in your assessment, did whoever was calling that match from Gorilla fail to communicate to the ref quick enough? Or do you think Nia, being the vet that she is, was like, oh, shit is bad, we got to go home? Like, where do you think the miscommunication happened? Because in my mind, I think I sit in the text thread, Nia understood shit went bad, we got to get out of here. And I felt like she was like, we just going to call it right here. And in my mind, it feels like, I don't know if she made that decision on her own or just her being a savvy vet, like, oh, we need to get out of here so she can get Jade straight.
Yes, so the wrestler would never call it on their own. That's got to be called from the ref from the back.
Yeah.
E, and I'll stop it there because that was a really good question. E, what's your thoughts?
I think it's just the communication piece, right? Because I think the referee is a gateway from the back,
correct,
to the wrestlers, right? So there was some chance about a ref you suck, like, right? Now, only thing I'm thinking of, because I haven't seen any information right on this, right? But obviously, they had to go home, right?
Mhm.
So I would assume at some point the ref had told the girls like, "Yo, we got to go home."
And
Like,
I didn't hear it.
right?
Well, she did
Now,
hear it. She didn't kick out. Remember?
Now, so here's the miscommunication, right? That could possibly happen, right? Can you think about it? Now, Nia is the veteran out of the three girls,
Mhm.
like, right? So when she hears "go home," like, when the next bump is when I'm taking as though I'm going home,
Yeah.
right? For the ref, and this might be communication, "go home" might have been like, "Hey, go to the finish,"
Gotcha.
and then we go home, like, right?
Yep, that makes sense.
And so with Nia, Nia's thinking like, oh, the next bump, the next pin, that's when I'm going home. Like,
Mhm.
right. And that might have just been like a thing to where maybe she might be kind of freaking out in her mind because she knows what happened to Jade. Like, right. She knows like, oh, I hurt this girl. The girl is injured. So
Mhm.
maybe like the fundamentals of whatever the wrestlers, are thinking in their mind, maybe it's just not firing for her in that moment. Like, right. So
Mhm.
maybe when she heard "go home," her reaction is, I'm laying down and we going home. Now,
Yeah.
like, oh, she means let's go to the finish.
Yeah, I think that's great perspective, E. It really is.
They so there was a couple of miscues there. One, Tiffany was late on the pin breakup. And you could see that during the actual show. Right? She was late on that. The other part too, and this is why I always scream. Remember, I went on my little quick tangent a few weeks ago about wrestlers kick out before the count of three.
Mhm.
Right? I'm so tired of, those close three, but then like you actually kicked out. It was actually 3.1, and then you kicked out. To me, this is why the referees have to count it as a shoot, and then we deal with the consequences in the back when said wrestler, unless they were knocked loopy, didn't kick out. Now, of course, I
totally
am
agree.
not saying
Yep,
yes.
totally
I am
agree.
not saying at the end of WrestleMania 43, and we know the finish is the Rock's running in, right? And then I'm not like, okay, we got some leeway.
Yeah.
But overall, because then this would never happen. And now whoever was at fault, okay, that's what's going to happen. And we're not sitting here talking about it on the pod. We would be like, yo, that was a really crazy finish, right? And then we would kind of just move on. We wouldn't be talking about this much in depth. But
yeah, the ref, in my opinion, again, I've never been a ref. I didn't even want to take a bump. I told y'all a couple times on this show about my experience about possibly taking a bump in the ring, and I ain't want to do it because I'm like, this is wood down here. If you've never been in the ring before, that mug is hard. Like, hell no, I'm not taking an untrained bump on this hard thing, right? Never done it before. But I really definitely think that the referee in that moment, right, regardless of what should have happened, what the finish should have been, she should have counted to three, because from a television perspective, from a fan perspective, they can't even hide that. Like, the referee just stopped counting.
Yeah.
Like, right from a TV perspective. So, but at the end of the day, you got a lot of emotions going on in the ring. Like, right, you got injured wrestlers. You got a impromptu finish that needs to happen. Like, what am I doing in the moment? Like, am I taking the pin now? Should I count? Oh, this isn't where I'm supposed to count the finish. Do I do that or not? Right? My instruction was this, right? So now you got a lot of executive decisions happening in the moment, to where a lot of people are used to being told what to do in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, right. So I mean, all the women involved were being put in a difficult position. So like, you hear these guys online, and they're like flaming these people, man. Like, y'all not in this position, man. Y'all, like, your head ain't cracked open on the outside, like, right? You're not going through the emotions of hurting somebody else to that degree on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right. You're also not in the moment. Like, you're responsible for a major main event. Like, right, on a botched finish with an injured wrestler. What do I do in this moment? This isn't what I'm scripted to do. What should I do? You are never been put in that position, so you shouldn't sit there and chastise these women for making decisions that they made. Like, right, it's a talking point. Like, right, but there's a lot of things that happen. Especially, you got emotion, you got adrenaline. There's a lot of factors that we don't have in the moment when we're reviewing this stuff. So for us to come on these shows and go online and flame these people, man, I feel like it's a disservice. And I feel like it's a really creepy thing to do.
Well, so And that's why the majority of critiques you guys have ever heard from me was typically surrounding creative, storyline decisions, and production. There's been a couple times where I've held some talent's feet to the fire, but to what E is saying, that is like something completely getting thrown off at your job. And in a second's notice, you got to do everything perfect. Majority of people wouldn't do it, no matter what your job is. Unless you have been trained and you ran through that before.
Yeah.
And you was like, oh, I know next time shit goes crazy, I'm going to do this. You're going to fuck it up too. That's not absolving them. They're professionals. This is a television show. It needs to look right. Right? But that's why for me, it's okay. We just call it, referee call everything as a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen, and she also, so I guess she tweeted or she put, I think it was an Instagram post. I didn't see it from my own two eyes, but somebody had kind of said it on social media that she had put a IG post out basically just saying, I see all the support, I'll be better. But she never said anything that, you know, to the match, I'll be better or whatever.
The ref?
Because the referee. Because we saw just a few months ago, Chelsea Green got counted out on SmackDown, and that wasn't supposed to be the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Referee counted, and that's what it is. I think that's just what it should always be. Is if you're not back in here, yes, I'm going to give you some leeway. But if you are not outside the ring doing the table spot, you got to the count of 10. Like, let's go.
If I'm not mistaken, the reaction by Chelsea, kudos to her, was perfect.
Yeah. And then they ran the match back next week with the finish they were going to do. Yep. But yeah, so I think you take care of that, and that's what it is. But yeah. Oh, but it was nasty. That was, man.
Yeah.
Sucks that had to happen.
Tough way to end the show for sure.
Yeah, buddy. It sure was.
So you think about that bump that that cut Jade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm watching again, I'm not trained, and you see like that spot over and over again, right? When they throw them into like, actually, I was watching NXT PLE a week.
No mercy,
weekend, right? And I saw that spot a couple of times when they throw them into like the chairs, right? I mean, not the chair, into the stairs. Mm-hmm. Like typically, like the wrestler being thrown spins and their back hits, right? I'm wondering what, or the show. I'm wondering what happened, like, because you look at like Nia kind of threw her by her head. I wonder, did Jade trip? Was she, did she lose her balance and then boom, she hit, or was she not expecting to hit? I wonder what specifically like went wrong in that moment, or just one of them things to where both girls were just tired, right? A lot of times when you're tired, you make mistakes physically too, right? So like Nia maybe she was off balance when she threw her. On top of, Jade's off balance when she was going into it and she wasn't able to do the spin and she went head first instead. I'm wondering what
live rounds,
what's wrong in that one.
Live rounds, pal.
You think that was a live round?
Velocity was a little too fast going to them steps because she did get her hands up. It was just too late. So she was going to go face first. If just real quick, because I didn't go back I watched it once. I never rewound it. If I had to like look just from the initial first, I just think she hit the steps too fast. I think she was thrown too close to the steps and she didn't get what she needed to get.
She was really close. Yeah, she was close. And that's what a lot of people like. She was like almost like right there. So it almost like it was like if somebody was really trying to hurt somebody and throw them into like that's when they did it. Like by the neck, by the head, toss them right into it.
And it's crazy because this is what we always talk about a lot when we talk about just like how everything, Rhodesia would get on her soapbox a lot of times where there'll be a move. She's like, I hate when they do that move. And I always say why. And we do this all the time. She said, because they can really get hurt. And my response is everything they do, they can really get hurt.
Everything hurts.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you just take that. How many times Roman has taken that bump? Literally probably thousands of times. A lot of these wrestlers have taken that bump thousands of times. She got split open. A simple suplex, a simple clothesline can destroy you. And so once again, it's like, that's why it's about being professional. You got to be professional. You got to know what you're doing in there because you can kill somebody. You can absolutely kill somebody out there. But I will say, shout out to Nia. If I'm WWE, I'm running with this.
Yeah.
And of course, Jade ain't going to be like what Becky was, became the man after Nia, one-pieced her up and gave her a concussion. and bloodied her up. But hell, maybe Nia is like the woman whisperer. You know what I'm saying? You get in the ring with Nia, she kicked the shit out of you real quick. You a made woman.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, do you think this does anything for Nia's confidence? Like, she has the stigma of her.
I think she's good. Yeah, well, yeah, because like people say she's unsafe. She don't know how to work.
Like,
that whole thing.
Does it unearth like old demons for her or whatever? Or you think she good?
I think she's good.
Good.
I think she's good. Yeah,
it might add some things to her heel character, but you know, when you talk about like you mentioned you're talking to Rhodesia and you were saying that everything hurts. That actually remind me of something that Gail Kim, because you know, Matt, like Gail Kim's been very active online for the past couple of days, man. I don't know what she got. I don't know if she has some extra time, but she's replying to almost any and everybody, right?
Yeah,
she's replying to any and everybody. But she was, I think somebody asked her, because I think one of the reports is that she was chasing the AEW contract, and she was saying, "Nah." The only conversation I had with AEW was, I think Sanjay Dutt had reached out to her, seeing she wanted to wrestle, and she's like, "Nah, I'm retired." And I think pretty much she was saying that she's gonna be in pain for the rest of her life. Right? And I'm like, damn, right? And I don't necessarily remember Gail Kim being like this hardcore. Now she did have to. Now both of you missed it because I was trying to get Matt on TNA a long time ago, because this is one of the things. Actually, I wrote a comment down on one of the podcasts I want to talk about. You know, we talk about the women's revolution started in NXT. Like, actually started in TNA years before that, because Gail Kim and also Kong were having some great matches, really great matches in TNA. If you guys can look back at some of those matches, great. But I don't remember her being like this hardcore wrestler. So for her to say, you know, be as young as she is, I think she's in her 40s. To say she's going to be in pain for the rest of her life, that just shows you with that ring and what wrestling does to the body. Matt and I, when we went to Starrcade, the very first Starrcade years ago, we met the beautiful people, like, right, which was awesome. I was being shy, Matt was being talkative one, right? It was funny, Brandon, and like, it's like if you listen to a lot of wrestlers talk about different conventions they go to, they'll talk about how the fans stink. Like, right? It's like a cloud of stink, and that's legit the truth. I remember one time, bro. Listen, I think I was standing in line to see Lex Luger, right? Lex Luger, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and this dude was smelling so bad, man. I was getting a headache. I thought I was about to throw up. I'm like, I was literally going to get out of line, right? Because that's how bad this dude smelled. But anyway, the beautiful people, and I forget if it was Velvet or if it was what's the young lady's name? Angelina. They're like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys smell good. Like, let me smell you." And they literally, I think it was Angelina, like, I think it was Velvet, where literally she smelled me. Like, I'm like, I can't, like, it's crazy, right? But Angelina said, I was like, hey, and I think she was really young at the time, right? I think she still was in her 30s at the time. And I'm like, yo,
there you go, ageism.
I was like, she was young. She was really young at the time. So I'm like, hey, when are you guys getting back in the ring? She's like, I'm not getting back in the ring. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, but you're really young though. She's like, no, I'm not getting back in the ring. And I'm like, man, so that just tells you the toll that ring puts on someone's body. So when we sit back and we critique what people are doing in the ring and how they're doing it, like, man, you're not doing these bumps day in, day out, year after year. Talk about that bump card. That bump card does have expiration date. And you got to think about a lot of these women, their bodies are a lot smaller compared to these meaty men. Like, right?
All right. So, see?
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Meaty men.
Took his ass an hour and 13 minutes to do it, but he did it. Fucker got another
meaty men.
Jesus Christ, man.
See, I'm not going to unveil the new street name.
No, you know what? You can do that next week, brother.
Well, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to hold it off.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm going to hold
that off. I won't be on the show next week. Hold that off, please. Please. But no, you're right. But I do think, but there is a spot, because if we were a hip hop podcast and somebody dropped a trash ass project, we will have to come on here and talk about how horrible the bars were, the production was trash, they weren't talking about nothing. Now, granted, wrestling is a physical piece, right? Same thing if we were like, hey, let's start a sports podcast, and somebody drops a dookie ball right in center court in basketball, or right in midfield in football and had the worst game ever, we would come on here and shit on them. We wouldn't say, yeah, but they take 32 hits a game, so that running back, it's okay. They fumbled 4 times. No, we were like, dude, hold on to the rock, man. Like, you are getting paid to hold on to the rock. Hold on to the rock. So I do think, like, to your point, everything you said is valid, E. But there is room to be able to critique but for me, it's never like a one-off. It's when I've seen, okay, you're just not really great at this, really, because you have a body of work that tells me there's areas of opportunity and you haven't like fixed it yet. Now, if we have the same,
that's a great. You're absolutely right, because we are fans. We can't critique what we see, right? Mm-hmm. I feel it's just a limit to what we do. Like, I can say that Goldberg is a bad wrestler. You're like, right? I think his. I can say John Cena's, wrestling, his 5 moves of doom are garbage.
Right.
Like, right? I can say that. Like, right. However, when the man legitimately hurts himself in the ring, there's a certain level of, like, I think, human decency that you have
decency,
to
right? Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Right.
Well,
so like when these women, like in that instance, there's a bit of humanity needs to come out. It's different than just saying, all right, let's say like they blotched the finish, right? Let's say no one got injured and out of the way, and it just was a blotched finish and just looked nasty and looked ugly. Absolutely, flame on. Like, right, you're professional. It's just a TV show, but when you see things that obviously happen, and from an emotional standpoint, maybe from a physical standpoint, well, let's take a step back on calling people trash at that moment. Let's use some human decency. But no, by all means, if you see blotch spots and stuff that look crappy in the ring, you know what I'm saying? When you see John Cena, in that nasty ass FU that he used to do when I wanted to say FU to you, and then we gotta sit there and have a 3-hour podcast so we can talk about the 5 moves of doom that John Cena had.
The Legends probably wrapping up in 3 months, right? Yeah, September 30th now, October 1st for everybody who's listening to day 1.
I gotta watch Peacekeeper, man.
It's coming fast.
What's happening?
It's Brandon. So
what happened?
Every time Brandon comes off of mute, and I've been holding this in about half hour. I looked at you a couple times. You didn't register, but you've been running up and down.
I know.
You got stuff going on. Yeah.
What happens when I come off mute?
So every time you mute, there's like this sound. And I don't know if it's going to pick up or not. So if it is, I hope it is there because it's fun. Yeah, you make every time you come on the pod, you drop our fucking production.
I had to let you know right now.
I really do.
Hey, I had to put them kids on punishment, man. They is in there wilding out, man. They in there wilding out. If you have not been watching on YouTube,
are they on break?
No,
he has gotten up from his seat 3 times, and there's a lot of times he is like on his phone and shit. Like I really don't think he pays attention to this podcast. Like he just comes off mute, says his shit. He goes back on mute and he just fucking like goes on his phone. I don't know if he's playing games or what, but typically he's always sitting down unless he's got to take a shit or something. Today.
He got up. He
was shaking his head a couple times, like, and he would get on his text and he would just get the fuck up. So that's if you're not watching on YouTube, he has not been with us for about probably this show right now is 1 hour and 18 minutes in. He's been gone for 1 hour and 10 minutes. All right, y'all. I got a hot take. Hot take, and I want to preface it by saying I don't think it's a hot take, but I know it's a hot take. He is probably going to clown me for it. But I just feel like in my universe, in my world, this is not a hot take. Mm-hmm. But this is a hot take. I was watching No Mercy this past Saturday. Good show.
Yeah.
People, I expected Ricky Starks to win.
Okay.
There was a lot of, talk like this was a shock. I didn't even hear to talk about that. We can talk about that if you guys want to, but my hot take is this. JeVon Evans is more of a can't-miss wrestler than Obafemi is. I legit believe that with every fiber in my being. Now, when I say can't miss, I'm saying no matter the booking, no matter the storyline, this said person is going to either be can't miss or rise through it all. To me, that's JeVon Evans. From that performance he put on with Sami Zayn on SmackDown, which was tremendous. I think he should have been called up from NXT. I know there's probably not a spot for him. We always got to look at spots now. It's not about, before it used to be, Brandon, you got called up when you were ready. Now, because there's so many over talent on the main roster, now it's more of like, hey, is there a spot for you? So we don't want to call you up and not use you. But I just look at the moves he did, like he captivates. I haven't seen, like, he's legit like the 2025 Black Jeff Hardy. I don't remember somebody who's captivated and done and does what he has in a very, very long time. Obafemi is known as like this can't miss. He has the look, of course. He is a wrestler. But I also think it's a lot to do with how they produce him. His entrance, his moves, how he's mowed through everybody. JeVon ain't got no crazy entrance. JeVon damn sure ain't mowed through nobody. But every single time he is on my TV, I cannot take my eyes off of the television. So if I look at what he did on SmackDown with Sammy on Friday, and then you double it up 24 hours later on No Mercy with the opener that set that show off, I swear to God, when I was watching him toward the end, when he had his comeback, he hit his move, the reverse cutter, and I was like, this is a guy that I would have appointment viewing for. If I know JeVon Evans is wrestling on a pay-per-view, I'm not missing that match over probably anybody else in NXT. So when I say can't miss, of course they're going to make boatloads of money with Obafemi. If you want to even, have Brock destroy everybody, call Obafemi up. He throws Brock out of the Rumble, and then you go Oba versus Brock next year at WrestleMania, and you make Obafemi. He is now a made man. I'm not talking that. I'm talking we're putting this guy out here. Let's see if he sinks or swim. And he is going to swim probably unlike anybody else on that NXT roster.
You gotta come off mute, my brand.
Do you think either NXT or the main roster is just saturated with talent? Or do you think like there's a right amount of talent, but just not space? Because if Oba has to be coming, right?
Yes. I mean, well, would we say that? Are we talking like by the Rumble?
It has to be by the end, right?
Hang on. There's nothing else for him to do in NXT.
Exactly. It's got to be by the end. I would argue JeVon Evans probably is going to be in the Rumble. But, like, with both of those two coming, I don't know if Trick is coming. Like, who do those 2, possibly 3, replace on the main roster? Or is there room for them to kind of come up and just be in a fold with what's already going on?
I think the women's side is oversaturated, right? Because when I think about Jordynne Grace, and I still want to call her Mariah May, man. Like I would love to get somebody. Yeah, I would love to get somebody on to really find out why we get certain name changes and not others, right? Like why can't she be Mariah May? Why do they Blake Monroe doesn't sound like Mariah May? Whatever. But I think the women's side. Now I think JeVon Evans. I'm not gonna get on you about that one because I think he's an undeniable talent. He can go in the ring. I think he has something from a charisma standpoint. He has something on the microphone. It's not there yet, but again, he's really young too. I think he just turned
20 years old or 21. One of the two.
Yeah. So he's really young, and I feel like he's so talented that it might, and I'm not sure how close he is to Shawn Michaels. But if he's not, I will hope he would.
Oh, dude, you heard what Shawn said about him, right?
What do you say?
Just a couple days ago.
No, what do you say?
In less words, he basically said he's the one. Like JeVon's the one. And
there it is. Like I feel like he has something, but it's not there yet. And I want him to find it before he's on the main roster. Like, right, to get to whatever that missing piece that he needs. Because if you look at him, right, he's a big dude. He's tall. He's like at least
tall guy.
He's at least 6'3", at least. Like, right. He looks kind of skinny on television, but I'm sure he's probably one of them dudes that's deceptively big in person, right? You know what I'm saying? So like he has the size that they're looking for. Can he pack on maybe like another 10 pounds or something like that, like Swerve did in AEW, like right to really solidify that look that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for JeVon Evans, like bring him along slowly, let him continue to sit under the Shawn Michaels learning tree. So when he gets called up to the main roster, he's not just starting from like the bottom. He's starting off as an impact player from like day one. Like
he's
because
somebody
he has that potential. Like we talk about Oba just has the stereotypical like look of a wrestler, right? He's
and
big,
that's what I mean,
he's
right?
thick. You know
look
what I'm
at him and
saying?
say you can't miss with that. Oh,
yeah.
sign that guy, put him in a wrestling ring. He's gonna make you a ton of money. That's what Oba has.
Yeah.
But like for JeVon E, like for me, I just thought about how many. Penta is a perfect example because we know the majority of people don't watch AEW that are wrestling fans. They just don't, right? I said when he gets to WWE, they're going to print money because he's going to be so over. There are so many wrestling fans right now, WWE fans, that Penta's their favorite wrestler. He's new to him, right? He's unlike anybody else that's on TV. To me, that's JeVon Evans. There is nobody. If there is a kid that only watches Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views for WWE, and that's the first time they saw JeVon Evans, they are in love. And holy hell, we're not even talking now the situation of now we're talking black little boys, right? Of seeing somebody who legit looks like me. He looks like, he's a Travis Scott type looking wrestler.
He looks like them young boys,
He don't like Carmelo Hayes. Trick Williams look like he's carved out of granite. You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, let's take them out. And then we look at Kofi's been there forever. Yes, we know the Kofi of it all, but an 8, 9, 10-year-old may not relate to Kofi the way they relate to a JeVon Evans. And just seeing what he did, I was just so impressed with him.
Because JeVon has it more so than, and I love Carmelo. I love Carmelo. Like, right, but JeVon has it more than him for a couple of different perspectives as far as the height. Like, right, and I think JeVon on the microphone is a little bit more compelling than Carmelo is
because he's real. That's the other part of it. Like he's real. When he cuts a promo, he is talking as if he was tweeting. He's
really
talking
natural.
away when he called Tony a crackhead.
Yeah,
like that's how he cuts his promos.
Because his promos aren't as good as like Jada Parker, for instance. Like, man, Jada Parker, I watched NXT of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like she on the microphone, as far as from a character standpoint, she is like young Bianca on steroids from a character perspective. Like, because when you listen to her talk, you talk about somebody who knows her character. you believe. Like, man, she actually gave me chills because when she started cutting her promo, I'm like, man, I feel like she really wanted to whoop this woman's
awesome.
ass.
But that's like when you know it's right. That's when you know it's right. And I think
has it.
Hey, look, and I think they are doing, and I don't know what you do with her because once again, you said you thought it was, they're overflowing with the women's division, but there's not really a spot for her right now on the main roster. But she goes out, she's got the crowd behind her. She cuts those incredibly realistic promos, and she loses every big match she's in.
Yeah.
Like she's not really like a threat.
That's why she lost. No mercy.
Yeah, she's not really a threat. And I'll say this too, and I've been holding this one in for a while, but I'm gonna say it. Jordan Grace is missing something in NXT. She's missing something that she had in TNA.
The Mystique.
I don't know if that's what it is, man.
She's beatable. She's beatable in NXT. She's been pushed. She's not been dominant.
I don't think it's that, man. I think that she stood out in TNA. Like from a look perspective,
big
from a
fish,
ring perspective.
Small pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like when she's really like, if you, Brandon, I don't know if you ever saw her physically. Maybe how long ago? When were we in Sarkay? How long ago? That was 2000.
Sarcast? Shit, that was
Sarcast.
This is AEW's 6th year, so that was 6 or 7 years ago.
Right. So man, it's like she's really. We saw her like live in person. Like we didn't speak to her, but she was like standing there right next to us. And you went and I still thought she was a cute girl. Like right, she was like that thick shorty, right? But she's really done a body transformation. Like,
I've seen pictures and videos of kind of where she was and how she.
And like when we saw her, she had did a body transformation because she had kind of started toning up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that right now, like from a work perspective, from a promo perspective, she's just kind of, you think about Zarya. Like, you think about Zarya. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Zarya came out with all that big press. And, like, where is Zarya now? Not in a bad way. But I'm just saying, like, the way they announced, like, Zarya, you thought that she would be, like, she was going to be on the same level of, like, Stephanie Facure and Julia. Like, you thought she was going to be one of those. Like, right? But now she's kind of playing the background character to Sol Ruka. And that's another one. Like, right?
She's another one that's ready right now.
And you could tell she has the utmost confidence in herself.
Oh, man.
You could tell.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like, she's another one that has it. She's got
it. Know it. You can tell she know it too.
It was cool. She was actually just a couple months ago. Couldn't have been Black History Month. What was it? Maybe International Women's Month. She was on a podcast. She was talking about basically like her Black side. And she was saying how when she was in high school, she couldn't really fit in.
Mm-hmm.
She absolutely couldn't fit in with the Black kids because she looked white. But then she couldn't really fit in with just the white kids because of, how she acted. And there is a half of her that is Black. And now, like, she's saying, like, this is the first time of her entire life where she's accepted for her Black side. And I'm just like, man, that's fucked. I know it seems like every single week I find a spot to, like, just, like, put something like this in here, but
we do each other dirty, don't we?
Damn, like, man. I just really wish people could just
our culture do each other dirty.
Yeah, right. Like this is a lifetime thing. Like you just don't all of a sudden figure it out and then you just move on. But for her just to feel like, and she's a young girl too, she's in her 20s, but just to feel like, man, I haven't been able to embrace whatever side of me that is. Her side is race. It could be your personality, whatever that looks like, sexuality, whatever that thing is for you, where you feel like you got to hide it. I can't be myself. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world. And we all do it to some extent, right? Like, I remember I used to think it was a great thing to be a chameleon. I used to always say, like, put me in any room, I'm good. I still believe that, but it's not as much of a positive as I thought it was back years ago, because all that means is then, like, you're just not being yourself wherever there should be rooms where you don't fit in.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be uncomfortable in some rooms and be like, this ain't for me. Right? God bless. This ain't for me. That wasn't how I'm like, I move wherever I'm at. I'm good. So yeah, but I hate that she has to go through that, but sounds like she's happy now with being able to embrace that side and people embracing her side of that. But she's another one that I think she's ready for the main roster. And I think she's gonna do big things too. That Soul Snatcher, that timing of that. So we talk about the botch on SmackDown. That was one of the better spots I saw all week, was just the timing of her hitting that soul. Everything's got to be perfect, right? Like if something's off a half a second, move doesn't look great. And that's the finish. The people are only going to remember the finish and what they felt and saw at the end. And they hit it. So shout out to them.
Big time.
Hey, I imagine we're about to sign off pretty soon, but what do we think about the new TNA Women's Champion?
Which is?
Kalani Jordan.
Really?
Yeah. She won. Another good match.
Good for her.
I feel more positive about that.
Who she beat?
So Ash by
Jane, right?
No,
I'm sorry. Lash had to give the title up.
Wait. So Ash by Elegance. I guess I'm not sure she's injured or
it's some personal.
She said she can't wrestle.
I saw that.
Right now, I'm not sure for how long, but she had to give the championship. So I believe she was in a match with Indy Hartwell.
Mm-hmm.
It was the winner of that match was going to be the new champion, because originally, Ash was supposed to wrestle Masha, but
did she get suspended or something?
No, so she's under investigation. She's getting released. Yeah, but I guess the word just came out today that allegedly she was looking to be released or leaving TNA before this came out. So her release or whatever, if they didn't renew her contract or she got released, has nothing allegedly to do to her beating my man's ass and going hard. Dude, she's a evil. It was, of course, after the pod, I was able to really kind of like deep dive it and really go in. Man,
yeah, she got some. It's like man,
yeah,
like
boy.
You were talking about. This is the first time I'm aware of. Y'all might want to catch me wrong. When a woman got caught up in the,
I think so, right?
This is the first one.
For real.
So this is the first time a woman got like they got. Well, no, Tessa was the other one.
She wasn't beating Ricochet's ass, was she?
But no, this is when everybody started speaking out against her, right? Like that's kind of the whole thing, right? When all the women kind of came out, said she was a bully and she did this, she did that. That's kind of what happened with Masha. Like everybody, like all the skeletons started coming out, like about. And you think about it, like so many things came out about her. You're like, man, yeah, you would think she was probably next on the radar for an NXT contract, maybe going to one of the, maybe not now.
Damage good.
Dirty woman. Dirty woman. Karma always catch you. Always. Universe is always going to find a way to get your ass. Either way, good or bad. That's going to happen. Happy or sad. What else? You just said something. Oh, so Kalani. What I was saying was I'm happy for her. I like it. But I think I'm more disappointed that Lola Vice lost than if Kalani would have lost. Like, to me, that was a perfect opportunity. Unless they got something else planned. But she's another one. I think she's ready. I think she's done a tremendous... I came on here and shouted her out a couple weeks ago because the work that she's been doing in NXT and the work she did in AAA. So I thought this match was, hey, you've really been busting your ass. Here you go. Right? Like, this is, the prize for what the work she's been doing. But no, she lost. She lost to a masked, all-black woman who did a run-in.
I wonder who that is, too.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell. Oh, somebody said, who did they say it was? I guess it's a thing. Like, when they said the name, I don't know the name. So I don't know if it's connected to somebody in NXT, I don't know, or in AAA. But a few people in the comments, I think the name starts with a K. But they were like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
So.
Well, I'm not too surprised that Lola lost. I'm just kind of surprised that JC's had the title for so long. I know she's good in the ring and all those different things, but I want to say as far as champions, when you think about it, you can see them on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best version of JC we've probably seen. But when I think about what's on the women's main roster, I just don't know how that translates.
You can move Legion and Brandy.
Oh man. Hey, what do y'all think about real quick? So we talked about Lola Vice, who recently re-signed with the company, right? And I would imagine she probably had a similar deal to Jasmine Nix, who declined her offer, right? And she was like, man, look, I came from soccer. I gave this a try. But this money that they gave me isn't, financially, it's not going to work out for me, right?
Middle finger to the sky.
And yeah, a lot of people come out and say, oh, that's more than enough money, but X, Y, and Z. And man, look, some of these dudes are getting paid 50 and 60. And that's not a lot of money nowadays in this economy. Right, especially these wrestlers who have to pay for all their expenses. They got to pay for all their own taxes. Yeah, man, you start talking about taking taxes out. How do you think about it? You start taking taxes out. You got car note, you got rent. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about living in the United States is that if you want to eat healthy, you're going to pay 3 times, the price to eat healthy, right? It's a lot of expenses that goes in there, right? And I'm sure at some point she probably I want to live a little bit nicer, than I'm living right now, right? And you think about it, she's a beautiful woman, and you see what these OnlyFans women are making, and the content they're putting out, they ain't putting out that risky of a content. A lot of them putting out just recycled old content, and they getting paid millions of dollars. And you got to think about it for her, this, they called her, she ain't called them, right? And so this wasn't a dream for her. It's yo, I'm going to thug it out for the next couple of years, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to be the star, because this is what I've always dreamed of as a little girl. She didn't probably think about wrestling until they called her. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. Whereas, Lola, I'm not sure what her financial terms are, but I'm sure that I think she got bit. She got bit by the bug.
And remember, Lola was also in MMA. and Lola wanted to perform. Lola would knock a motherfucker out and start twerking.
Yeah.
When she worked MMA, that's entertaining. That's what she brought to the table.
Yeah.
This is twofold. Like, one is the amount of money, of course, but I think outside the amount of money, it is the second part, which this ain't everybody's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, we at times live, breathe, eat this shit called professional wrestling. Live, breathe, eat this shit called sports. Live, eat, breathe this shit called hip hop and music and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not from that world, it's a job to you. Now, yeah, a lot of them get bit by the bug, and then it's like, ooh, okay, I'm here. But somebody like her, who, of course, to your point, gorgeous girl, right? She can just go be a model and make $75K, whatever she was making in NXT, plus more. But she comes from soccer. That could be maybe her love. Me falling down for this amount of money just ain't kind of what I want to do. So I have zero problem, right, with that person or whoever saying like, no. But I think it's more of a passion thing. I saw Stephanie, it was a quote going around. Stephanie Vicure was talking about that when she couldn't afford to eat, like, her food was wrestling. Like, wrestling meant that much to her that, like, I don't have to eat to do this. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. They don't make them like that. That is for the people who watch this from like day zero. Their first memory was watching this on television, or their mom or dad or their grandfather or grandmama took them to this show and they sat way up high in the nosebleeds and somebody captivated them and they were hooked, right? That is for that segment of people. But the majority, especially who WWE's going after now, they're going after these athletes. They're going after the NIL people. Like, these are people like, hey, you want to give it a shot? Oh, I never watched it, but is that like the John Cena stuff? All right, I'll try.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, shout out to her. I am all for anybody who. Nah, I didn't like the video she did with her boyfriend, where he kept calling it fake, but then he limps out talking about how it hurt. It ain't fucking fake, genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I didn't like that video, but I'm all for people. If she don't want to do that shit, stop. I'm gonna miss her. I enjoyed her on my TV, but I got a feeling I'll be seeing a lot of her on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still get to see her.
Yep.
All good. All good.
We'll make sure we send that to this text thread. Right.
There
We'll keep
Just to be on this text thread.
There you go. We started talking about the text thread. Hey, look, we actually did a pretty good job of not like saying anything that was disrespectful.
Going crazy.
Shout out to all of our women and female listeners and viewers. I know y'all out there. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And of course the guys too. Appreciate all our freaks out there. I think that's it. That's a wrap, right?
Think so.
That's it. That's all. He's going to give you guys next week. Rhodesia and I will be on vacation, so we will miss next week's show. Of course, I'm going to be locked in listening until E drops what he has for y'all. So E, just wait till the end of the show so I can listen to the show. Because when you say that shit, I'm pressing pause and I'm never listening to the rest of the show.
Views are going to start. They're going to start. Click, click,
You
click,
gotta
click,
hit
click.
up with a teaser right now.
Please like and
No,
subscribe.
man, no, he don't. See, no, he don't.
Please like and subscribe.
Hey, look, speaking of views, so you know, we really hadn't been on TikTok. I think we had a page, but then some with the password and this and that and this and that. So like, I've really been like putting like our content on. Rhodezia's been posting clips.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So there was a video. Actually put a video up on YouTube. The John Cena video from last show is going crazy right now. Which is cool to see. But I brought that up because it was something about the TikTok. Now so I did it today. I'm gonna just start like posting old content because now that like the algorithm is starting to catch up a little bit. First, and of course, we're still nowhere near where we're going to be. But when we first started TikTok, we were getting like 30, 40 views. I'm like, what the hell? So now we're like typically getting like 1,500 to 2,000 plus per video. So all the videos at the bottom of that page, I'm gonna just start like putting them up. I did that today with the John Moxley one where we had like, that was like months ago where we talked about what's his name going to be. When you asked like, what's Cope's name going to be if he ever goes to WWE? The first time we posted it, it got like 23 views. As of right now, I reposted it earlier today. And it now has 1,100 views.
Good stuff.
And that was like 4 hours ago. So I share that to say, if you are doing content, just keep putting your stuff out. Just keep putting your stuff out. I know we all worry about how we come across, how we look, things of that nature. Oh man, what if that's not a good one? I was big into that. Oh, everything's got to look right. Everything's got to sound perfect. Put it out. People are going to find you. People are going to appreciate you. We got a video on YouTube that we just dropped yesterday about John Cena from last week. I think last time I checked, it's got like 17,000 views on it, like 600 likes. So you just never know what's going to pop. That is no different than any other video that we put out that typically gets like 3,000 views on YouTube. But you just never know. Just put it out. Put it out in the universe and see what you get. But yeah, so next week, these two gentlemen are going to hold it down and talk about, there's a lot y'all got to talk about. I'm interested to see what we got. Because what's next Saturday is Perth, right?
Is it next Saturday?
I think so.
It is. I think so. Yeah. The preview show.
Yeah, you got to preview that. And I think that's like 9 a.m.
8 a.m. our time.
Eastern. 8 a.m. Eastern. But we'll be in Spain on vacation. So that's actually like 2 p.m. Saturday, which is like perfect.
You're going to watch?
I'm going to watch.
Okay.
I'm going to watch. It's just, there's just no way for us to like hook up time-wise. I have no idea what that even looks like. We leave Thursday. And then like we get there Friday, I think. Okay. So just I may be jet lagged. UFC is this weekend, which I'm excited about. I don't know. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah. Lions is like, but that'd be like 1 or 2 p.m. I think, or 7 or 8 p.m. because it's 3 o'clock game. So by the time I figure out the time, we come back home. Watch as soon as I get locked into what that looks like over there, we'll be back rocking it out here back in the United States. So excited for y'all to rock this show out next week. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this show. These knuckleheads on here. That's Freakin Wrestling on YouTube. That's Evan W on TikTok. That's Evan W on Instagram. That's Evan W on X. That's it, y'all. We out. Them gentlemen's right there. See y'all next week. See y'all in 2 weeks. Peace.